What is up, players? Welcome back to Rebel Rescue with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. Today we're going to be taking on Ludogrets in the Champions League second qualifying round, because we've already played our first two games in the Champions League. I didn't think there was any need to bring you back for that, because it was against TNS, and I assumed it was going to be super comfortable, and it wasn't that easy, actually. We did win the Munster Senior Cup final, which was the last game, or the first game since the last episode, comfortably against Cove, 3-0, not a bother on us. Then we went and beat UCD 3-1, Colin Whelan scoring against his old club yet again. TNS in the first leg, Roy Quigley got himself sent off for their penalty, which they obviously scored. Colin Whelan getting a very late goal for us, which was fantastic. Then, as you can see, Gail Misa is back from his loan. He went off. We signed him, loaned him back to Victoria or something in Spain. He is back from that now, so he scored on his debut against St. Pat's, and then against TNS he came off the bench. Came off the bench and scored, which was delightful. And Colin Whelan, just 2 goals very early on in the second half, just meant that we were comfortably through. Then we played Bowes in the most recent game, and it was just an easy time. The final goal for us, Vincent Day, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was an absolute screamer. So we'll have a quick look at that, and we're going to do just a very, very quick roundup of the transfers to this point. Yeah, what a screamer of a goal. Vincent Day, you absolute monster. We do have a game against Treaty in between the two Ludogrets games. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle. We do have decent money in the bank. Pretty much all our transfer budget left, and our wage budget is looking pretty tasty as well. We have thrown in offers. We threw trials in for players, as you can see. Nicholas Pepe, ex-Arsenal player, tried to throw a contract or a trial his way. He wasn't having any of it. We do have a couple of players who are looking to go out on loan, or potentially leaving on free, but that's not the important thing. What is important is we have signed Nick Schindler, who's a German striker. I mentioned him in the last episode, from Leipzig. Not a first team player at the minute. He is potentially out on loan to a third division German side. Damjanovic is a Swiss winger slash right back. He's only played at right back so far, but he has been fantastic. Got him for pretty much nothing. My director of football signed Jonathan Murta from UCD. His only game so far was against UCD, and he was meh because we played him. Can't loan him, so he's just going to be sitting in the first team as a bench option, potentially. Probably not going to get that much football. Shane Fogarty has joined from St. Pat's. This is the guy I wanted. 600,000. I think it's a bargain. We're going to wait and see how he goes. He has gone back on loan to them for the remainder of the season. So far playing twice. Could not play against us, so they gave their other goalkeepers, both had spent, I think it was 2 years without playing a game of football, so that was not ideal for them. Then we signed Messinino, who's a centre-back, just as a handy option to have. Decently tall, which is something we don't have many centre-backs that we can say that about. Jumping reach is very good. Determination and aggression is quite high as well. I like that. I like all of it. So he is an option to play as well. Then we say Yannick Jean, who just looks an absolute beast of a midfielder. So this guy is now like our pivot in midfield. 5'6", so not the tallest player in the world, but he's in central midfield. Don't really care. Adrian Atienza, decent striker again. Looks acceptable. Can play on the wing as well. Can play in central midfield if absolutely necessary, but has 20 agility, 16 pace, 16 acceleration. The guy is an absolute monster. He has played a Champions League game for us against TNS. Hasn't made his league debut yet, because Colin Whelan has been in pretty good form. Clement Gauthier is right back, left back utility option. Not better than, I don't think it says here he's better than Quigley. I don't think he is. He's just a good player to have on the bench. I can pop him either side. He's essentially just what's his name? Griffin? Shane Griffin? Rory Griffin? Whatever. Rory Griffin? I feel like it's Rory Griffin. He's just an option instead of him. I actually don't remember. Reese Griffin. Reese Griffin, that's the one. He's potentially, hopefully going to get a loan so he can get some first team football, because he's never really been first choice for us. And then we signed Teo Adamarola, who is, I think, in previous FMs has been an exceptional left back. Has been released by Crystal Palace, so we brought him in, paying him $1,000 in the hopes that he can take over from Vincent Day, potentially. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But we have had quite a number of players leave. I think you know about Noah Emaran and Denver Addis. Jonathan Mulder has gone to China for 150,000. Marian Prinz has gone to Regensburg for 40,000, which, to be honest, I just wanted Mulder. Prinz, Occo Flex has gone as well. I kind of just wanted him gone. He did throw up a bit of a fuss, ruined everything for well, not ruined everything, just he was just a little bit of a disruptive person in the team. Giovanni Fabian refused the contract, so we accepted an offer from Frosinone for him, reaching up to potentially 130,000 plus 50% sell on. If he does get sold from Frosinone for a profit, we'll get 50% of it. Philip Kuich didn't go to who was it? Who did he join? Sarajevo. Went to Sarajevo on loan, decided against joining them. He's now instead gone to Soroki Birjeg. Just went on a free. His contract was expiring. They offered us nothing for him, and I took it. A bunch of players that went out on loan just because they weren't going to make the first team. Bagala has gone to Sared in Slovakia for a loan. Jefferson Costa left us. Nasty's gone to Cesena. Lee Kineen, who I think in the last episode was throwing a bit of a hissy fit, played in the game against Cove, won himself a cup, and then Burton, out of nowhere, paid his release clause, 525,000. So we made a cheeky $500,000 off him for a player who only played a handful of games for us. So that is fantastic. We also sold Farnberger to Holstein Kiel on a free, and just loaned out a bunch of other players. Unai Imaz is just perennially injured. We brought him back from his loan early because he was injured. Picked up another injury after recovering from that one. So he's just not really an important player. So I just hoofed him out on loan. And when his contract expires next year, he can just do whatever he wants. As you can see, we are comfortably top of the league. We have lost 2 league games, which is not ideal. But Shelbourne are already in a position where we can no longer finish behind them. We have upgraded our training facilities and our youth facilities. Junior coaching is maximum, and the youth recruitment is at maximum, which is delightful. We have candidates. It's only a good youth intake at the minute, but I've seen good youth intakes come in and be, you know, it's one of those things you never know until the day of. We do have one it's frightening thing. Alan Murray is now wanted by Man City, and when Man City want a player, Man City get the player. Setford is wanted by Derry City on loan. I'm not 100% sure why they think they're going to get him on loan, but that's fine. Also, Dengbone wants to leave on loan, but nobody wants to loan him, so that sucks for him. So the team is a pretty settled team, I have to say. Pitaluga is starting a goal. Setford's just sitting this one out because he's been in mixed form recently. Quigley, Coleman, Duca and Vincent Day as our back four. Murphy and Jan in central midfield. Misa, Vestergaard and Carlsberg behind Whelan, because Onofriti wasn't fully fit. Actually, we'll just give him a rest. We'll give him a rest. He's fine. So Misa is going to start this game because Onofriti scored a brace in the last one, and as he scored the second one, picked up an injury. So instead of risking him, just took him straight off. There's no need to risk a player when we were already, I think it was like 3-1 at the time. We were comfortable. I didn't see the point in risking one of our most important players for no reason. So against Ludogrets, I'm not expecting an awful lot, but at the same time, we do tend to do decently well. I'm half expecting Alan Murphy to get sent off there, but he didn't, which is delightful, because it is Alan Murphy. He's a ball-winning midfielder by trade and a leg breaker by day. If we do beat Ludogorets over the 2 legs, then we'll be taking on either Partizan or Cluj yet again, which I would like a bit of a mix-up. I would like to play someone else, you know. It's all well and good playing the same teams over and over again, but I'd prefer that when we get to the point of, you know, later stages of the Champions League or like any European competition. We play Irish teams constantly, like 4 times minimum for the top division, and then we end up playing like Treaty, Waterford and Cove Ramblers multiple times during the season. It would be nice if we could play different teams in Europe rather than having to play Cluj twice, which I'm hoping isn't going to happen. But yeah, I did say that was a very boring first half. I'm happy with the number of shots. Keep it up. Misa was fantastic in the last 2 games coming off the bench. Terrible so far today. I'm thinking Atienza might actually be coming on as a right winger in the not too distant future. We do have options on the wing, so he would want to, you know, play better, essentially. Oh, Coleman. Okay, that's fine. Pitluga comes out to clean up the very short pass. Whelan finds Vestergaard. Vestergaard is now, I think, our best paid player. Gail Misa smashes the ball into the back of the net just to make me feel like an absolute idiot. Thank you, Misa. You prick. So we're 1-up, which is delightful. Didn't expect it. We are away from home, which is actually, ironically, where we struggled most against TNS. The New Saints were really good at home compared to us, and we were very lucky to get back into the game, to be fair, because we didn't really do much. Tekpedi just puts it past Pitaluga like he wasn't even there. Not ideal. Not ideal at all, my friends. Rick has come off for Gonkelvis. We're going to have to make changes soon. Duke is not having a great game. Alan Murphy's not having a great game. Alan Murphy actually has been watched by the Ireland manager recently. He's been coming to see Coleman, Whelan, and then in the last couple of matches that he's arrived for, Murphy has been a part of his intention. So I've kind of surprised, but at the same time, makes sense because now Man City are interested in him as well. This literally did just pop up like 2 days ago in game. So it's not as if he has been wanted the whole time. It has literally just appeared. We are struggling a little bit. I'm going to have to take off Murphy because he is ripe for a sending off. Sullivan can move to Mazzella. Jean can play as the box-to-box. Duca is not having a great game. I'm going to bring on Jake. And we are going to push on. Hopefully, we can get ourselves a second goal. I want to push. I want to go attacking, but positive seems to be working an awful lot more recently. Part of me wants to go to 2 up top because we do have 2 strikers on the bench. One of which has been scoring fairly regularly in the Ukraine before he came back. He hasn't scored yet. Rylyachenko hasn't scored for us since joining. Basically, he's been... What kind of clearance is that from Quigley? Ooh, he's a lucky boy. Had we conceded there, potentially loses his place for a terrible decision. Right. 15 minutes left. Anyone dying? Carlsberg's really not having a great time. Bring on Rylyachenko. We're going to go a bit wacky. And we're going to put Rylyachenko as a poacher. And go 2 up top, but asymmetric. Hopefully this can do probably not a good idea to do it this side, actually. Is it? Is this the best way of doing it? I don't know. We're going to go attacking. Quigley, with the throw, finds Misa. Quigley can't get the ball to a Cork City player in a kit that we never play with. If you're red-green colorblind, I apologise. Apologies it's taking me this long to realise that red-green colorblind probably isn't a good idea. Not ideal for people of indifference. Indifference, is that the word? Indifference to green and red mixing. Also, Ludogrets haven't done all that well selling tickets for this match, it would seem. That looked like it was offside. Yeah. Alright. Oh, Ludogrets. I've just gone very attacking. Ludogrets have the ball. 5 minutes left. Show. Well, it's the big show. The one thing I have to say is Vincent Day, not really the most attacking wing back, and I think our very attacking has foiled us in this time, because we've decided to push when we really, I suppose we didn't really need to. But a 2-1 defeat away from home. Disappointed. We should have won. Misa, you were a bit shite. So don't be complaining to me about anything. Right, we will be back in just a second for the second leg. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, because this video will go on for days otherwise. So we will be back in just a second. Right, fellas, it is time now for us to take on Ludogorets in the second leg. And as you might remember, we did lose the first one 2-1, which was quite frustrating. The only player we've brought in is Jack Henry Francis, just as a midfield option, released by Arsenal. Not looking for too much money. 1500k. It's not too bad. 1500k. £1,500 a week. A couple of players went out on loan. Karim Tunde has left on a free, so not a huge amount has happened. We have an offer for Alan Murphy from Chelsea, which is up to 700,000, but we get a friendly and like 30% sell on. Man City came in and just offered us straight 700k, so I asked for friendly and profit from future sale. They said no. So looks like he's potentially going to end up playing for Chelsea, which is not ideal. Also, our fitness coach is being snapped up by Liverpool, which is just fantastic, as you would expect. The game in between against Treaty, 4-0, comfortable game, fairly rotated side. Just because I had some of the players I wanted to play in this Ludogrets game, didn't want to risk him against Treaty. So Rylyachenko scored, I think it's his first ever goal for Cork City. It says he was on loan at us, but he's obviously not. Yep, his first goal for Cork. So that is delightful. So for this game, we're going for a fairly strong side. Alan Murphy is a little bit on the tired side, but he's going to play because he probably won't be here for too much longer. So yeah, I think this is probably the strongest team we have today. We don't really have any injuries. Gauthier is injured, but I don't know. I think Quigley and Vincent Day are still the ones I'd be starting for this game anyway. Although if you look at the star rating, Clement Gauthier is probably the best defender we have, except for Coleman. Alright, so nobody expects us to win this game. This, to be fair, would be a bit of a giant killing. We're going to send the assistant to that. We do have the advantage of being at home, which could be ideal. They do have an injured player starting the game, or has picked up an injury very, very early on. That's one thing I think is interesting, is FM doesn't have... Oh no, Freety at the back post, puts the ball in the back of the net. 15th of the season. If he could stay fit for every game of the season, and he didn't get like a long-term injury, a long-ish term injury like he does pretty much every year, he'd be one of the best players in the world. Unfortunately, he can't do that, so we'll have to hope that someday he learns how to not be injured all the time, or at least part of a season. But yeah, I think it's a little bit frustrating. I think it'd be more frustrating if it did happen, but the fact that you never get Setford, Jesus, that was interesting goalkeeping. I think it would be interesting, but infuriating when it happened, if you could get players injured in the pre-match, like maybe Alex Santana picked up a groin strain in the build up to the game, like he was out on the pitch warming up, pulls his groin or ankle ligaments or something. I think just because you see it happen in real life, I have never seen it happen in game, and it would be nice if it actually did happen, because the whole idea of Football Manager is that it's as realistic as possible. Well, as realistic as Sports Interactive will let it be, because as we all know, when COVID hit, they didn't put that into the game. Vestergaard makes it 2. Vestergaard, since Jean has come in, has had quite a substantial drop in his star rating, because Jean, one of the best players in the team, and according to my scouts, he wasn't that good. So when I brought him in for was a 2-week trial, and he was, I got to see him properly, I was like, hey, this guy's actually pretty good. And when I signed him, and he made his debut, I was like, this guy is very good. Unfortunately, Whelan can't get us a third for the game. Whelan does have off days, and unfortunately for us, today is one of those days. That was blatant foul in front of the goalkeeper. Goncalves has picked up a yellow card. They're going more attacking, which means that our positive mentality might be able to get us more involved. The fact that Alan Murphy is nervous, it's interesting, because he's potential to be playing for Chelsea in the not too distant future. So Cluj have scored against Partizan. Actually, never checked to see what the score in the first leg of that game was, so I still don't know who we could be playing in the next round if we make it there, which at this time is still a pretty big if. They do want us to take off a couple of players, which I'm probably going to do in the not too distant future. We do have tired legs out there. Cawley puts past Setford. We do need to score now, because I really don't think our players will be able to play another half hour. Do I take off Whelan? Do I take off Vestergaard? I think Onofriti can move there. Vestergaard comes off for Misa. We leave that. Be our 2 substitutions for now, trying to just get everyone a little bit more energetic, and just pray. Oh, we need to make one change. Jean, advanced playmaker. Onofriti, advanced or attack midfielder. On attack, go. I was considering taking Whelan off. Jean is playing terribly, but I know what he can do when given the opportunity. And it looks like they've made all 3 of their substitutions at the minute. Looks like there is potential for us to be going to extra time. Who is Jean? Is dead, but so is Onofriti. Onofriti's having a better game. Jean can come off for Osene, be a poacher. You want to be a centre midfielder on attack. Go. We've made all attacking changes. Ludogrets have made mostly defensive changes. And if the away goals was the thing, wouldn't make a difference. Okay, so that's fine. Pointer finger. We're doing well. Keep going. You can make the difference. I believe in you. If not good enough in the final third. Do we have the ability to make one more substitution? We do. We'll save it for now. A bit of encouragement. I'm guessing Cluj and Partizan is a full-time score. Maybe not. It is 1-1 in that game as well on aggregate. We're definitely not making things easy for ourselves. Do want us to take O'Brien off and bring on, or bring Onofriti off and bring on O'Brien, which I think would be a strange thing to do. Okay, so we have a lot of tired players. Quigley, Vincent Day, Onofriti, Carlsberg, and Whelan. Don't really have anyone we can bring on to play in any of those positions. So could just bring Reese Griffin on for Vincent Day. Go out there and make a difference. And we are going to go attacking. Bit of encouragement. Not long left. Well, yeah, I think it's just the players are exhausted. Players are just like, please, can we just get this to penalties? Duca almost puts it in the back of the net. A Romanian centre-back almost did us a favour, but unfortunately it has gone 2 penalties. The players can pick for themselves. Everyone here should be able to take a penalty, and I expect us to win it. No. We're the underdogs. That suits us. We knew penalties were a possibility, and we've prepared for them. Have we? In front of our own fans. Yeah. Stay calm. Oh no. Oh no, I've upset my defenders. Okay. So, I've upset my goalkeeper, who is probably the most important person in this entire penalty shootout, but Whelan scores the first one. Cawley steps up. Can Setford stop him? He cannot, but Cawley does put it top bins. Carlsberg steps up to take his penalty. He slots it past the keeper. What's interesting is Ludogrets fans are in the shed end, which not where they're supposed to be. I don't know why the away fans are always down here. Yankov, Setford can't get a hand to it. This is the home end. It's the other end. That's the away fans. Ormeno steps up to take his penalty. Smashes it in the back of the net. Actually didn't even know Ormeno could take penalties. I thought he was one of those players that wasn't able to. Ikoko, their left back, puts it what looked like it was through Setford. Onosene steps up and slots his penalty down the middle, but high, which is fantastic. Setford taking on Tekpede, and Tekpede smashes it into the back of the net. Alright, so we're on to the 5th penalty now. Gail Miza steps up to take his penalty. Can he put it past the keeper? He does, confidently. Griffin's name has been highlighted this entire time, and I'm not sure why. Setford for what could be the decisive penalty if he can save Tessira's penalty, and he got himself in front of it, but couldn't do anything with it. Coleman steps up now to take a penalty, and he slots it past the keeper. Decent height for the keeper, was quite low, but at the same time, it's the show. The show steps up to take his penalty. Number 6 for Ludogrets. And show misses. Setford looked like he stepped over the line, but we'll take it. We have gotten through. Managed to turn around the first leg deficit. Fantastic. Roy Quigley, delighted with your performance tonight. As I always say, when players play above an 8, tell them how great they are, because then their training the week after is significantly better. So you're going to have to wait to find out who we're playing in the next round, because I want a surprise. I want you to be like, oh my god, I can't believe you're playing Cluj or Partizan for the first time or the second time. So if you have enjoyed this episode, which I do admit was quite a long episode, I apologise. Thank you for staying with here. If you did, But as I said, do leave a like, comment and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to the channel. I will love you eternally if you do. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye!